Today on Builder Nation, we are talking about Czero, an engineering powerhouse specializing in creating advanced solutions for clean energy and efficiency. From innovative mechanical designs to sophisticated control systems, they are addressing some of the most complex challenges in energy storage, delivery, and emissions reduction. Their expertise spans a wide range of industries, combining forward-thinking engineering with a clear focus on sustainability. Keep watching to explore how this team is paving the way for smarter and cleaner energy systems. Today we are joined by Guy Babbitt, CEO at Czero. Welcome, Guy. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so I was doing a little bit of research about you, and you have more than 30 years of experience. You study also engineering and have a PhD in mechanical engineering. And a week ago, you celebrate the 18 years working at Czero. How do you integrate these lessons from the past projects or studies into your current work now?
Sure. Well, we look at a real wide range of projects. So we are always trying to look at not only is it technically viable, but do the economics work, right? So many of the projects that people look at that technically can be achieved, but will they be economically feasible? And really, if not, they're not going to scale and have impact. So we try to look at projects holistically.
Yeah, and well, now that you're talking about that, do you think that's the motivation behind Czero, or what is the main mission of them?
Yeah, so the mission of C0 is very definitely about seeing what we can do to help develop technologies that mitigate the negative impacts of climate change, right? So we're very interested in things that either reduce emissions or energy consumption. The name C0 comes from carbon zero, so it's something we've been passionate about. Well, the whole company is formed about that, but I've been passionate about this since I was a little kid.
Yeah, I was checking the website, and you have a lot of services, products that make an impact in the world.
Yeah, we really a wide range of things, and really we don't have any products, but we help our clients develop those products.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I was reading about the crazy quiet power system. I don't know if
Sure.
it's the correct name, but
Yeah.
correct me if I am wrong. But how this power system achieves significant efficiency improvements compared to the conventional power generation systems.
Yeah. So that's a high efficiency hybrid gen set we put together. That project probably dates back 6 or 7 years. And sometimes when you're using generators to produce power, if your load case is not that uniform and you need a lot of low power, just using a regular genset could be really inefficient. So much like how a hybrid car can combine an internal combustion engine and batteries to get the best of both worlds, that's exactly what we do for power generation. And then now we've repurposed that as an EV charger for remote environments where you may not have a grid.
Wow, that's amazing. And I see that these kind of things, as I said, has the impact in the world. And now I know that one of the services that you at Czero offer is modeling and simulation too. So how this Czero's expertise in modeling and simulation contribute to the development of complex energy systems?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Most of the projects we work on, as you mentioned, are pretty complex, or we're really trying to push the boundaries in terms of what you can achieve efficiency or performance. And if you have a system like that, you really need to model it in quite a bit of detail. You really can't just kind of wave your thumb in the air and say, "I'll make it this big" or something. So about a quarter of our team is really dedicated to modeling stuff. So that may be dynamic simulations of maybe how a fuel injector works, or a large process system to make hydrogen, or fuel cells. We work on a real wide variety of projects, and you really need to model that to understand how it will perform. Can you control it? And then, like we said, also part of that is, will the economics really work? So we have a very holistic analysis-led approach.
Wow, yeah, that's incredible. And I imagine that during all these years you face different challenges developing some stuff. So I want to know, what is the most significant challenge that you had to face during all these 18 years working at C0?
Yeah. Boy, that's a hard one. From a technical standpoint, we've worked on just a real wide variety of projects. And a bunch of them we've had to develop our own tools because the tools we need in some cases didn't exist. So we create those software tools to analyze those. Boy, it's really difficult to pick, which one is the hardest, right? But really have a lot of fun working on a lot of those really challenging projects, and it's an amazing team we have here. So I really got to give the team the credit. They're the ones who really do all the heavy lifting and get through all those hard projects.
Yeah, and now that you are mentioning the team, I was checking your LinkedIn activity and I saw a post that got my attention, that you shared something about a family day you took after a while trying to find the balance between work life, and you
Yeah.
were relaxed because you knew you have a great team that can make things keep running without problems. What is the most important thing for you when you build a teamwork?
Yeah, I think, we really got lucky. We just have an amazing team here, right? So the company was founded by myself and another individual that had worked together for years, and we really just worked well and clicked together. And, we probably haven't got it 100% right, but the things we've really tried to do is really come at the whole thing from a people-centric point of view, right? So we have a bunch of people that have just huge mission alignment. Most everyone here really cares about what we're trying to accomplish, which is, again, how can we reduce the impacts of global warming and produce alternatives there. So there's huge mission alignment. Everyone is great to work with. We have a policy that I really can't quite use the exact words, but if you're not a nice player here, there's no place. We don't care how smart you are. So everyone has a lot of respect for each other. We certainly work hard, but we try to have a little bit of fun in there. And we put a lot of time into our employees, and the more senior engineers put a lot of time in the junior. And I think we've gotten a good reputation of being a great place where people are encouraged to learn and have mentors there. And we just have an amazing team. And I just feel so fortunate from that standpoint.
Yeah, I think it's super important, as you said, because you have to have the same vision, the same mindset, the same everything. It's okay. You can be very smart or be very good with what you do, but if you don't have the same mission that you have in your mind, it's different. It's difficult and different to work with that kind of people.
Yeah, absolutely, right. Yeah, and it's even more than mission, but just respect for people, right? I think. Look, we're all going to have a bad day. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to, we all are balancing our personal lives and everything. But as long as everyone's really working hard and trying in the aggregate, we fill in for each other, carry each other's package if we need a little bit of help there. And yeah, that is one part, if nothing else, we got right in C0 as a team.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And you mentioned something about the impact in the global warming. What are the current trends in clean energy technology, and how is C0 positioning itself to address these future challenges?
Yeah, so maybe I'll talk about it from a C0 centric point and the different things we work on, right? So there's both, pretty much everything comes down to energy. How do we create energy or create energy in a useful form, and then how do we utilize it? And we get involved in all aspects of that, and we try to be incredibly apolitical, and we're technology agnostic. So on the production side, we're just as likely to work with renewable type energies as traditional oil and gas. And we've really worked with a wide variety. Again, we've worked with traditional oil and gas, worked on subsea well control, we've worked on flare gas mitigation. We've worked on a wide variety of natural gas projects, but we've also worked on wind turbines, wind farms, multiple different designs there. We've worked on concentrating solar. We've worked on wave harvesting projects, river harvesting projects, a little bit of geothermal, a little bit of nuclear, really a wide range on that side. on the consumption side, we're originally automotive engineers. That's really where I started. My business partner started. So in those areas, we were working at different combustion strategies, different engine hardware that would make vehicles burn cleaner and possibly have better performance at the same time. And we continue to do some work there between all the engineers at Czero. I think we've burned over a dozen different fuels and engines. We work on fuel injectors. Now that a lot of that is largely figured out, right? There's great inroads with EVs. They're not the only solution, but they're a great solution for a large portion of personal transportation. Now people are trying to figure out, how do you do this with bigger things like trucks and big ships and things. So we're starting to work in some technologies there. Another area we're doing a fair amount of work is, you probably hear people talk about storage. Photovoltaic and wind is great, and is some of the most inexpensive electricity you can have out there. And it is some of the fastest growing, but unfortunately the wind doesn't always blow, the sun doesn't shine. So people look at storage. Well, one way is doing that with batteries, and that's pretty effective, and it's growing quite rapidly, but there's other ways of doing it. We've looked at a wide variety of storage mechanisms with compressed air, working on thermal projects. Now there's some projects where people are doing it with redox reactions, and we're very excited about it. We work with a couple companies there where you use excess electricity to reduce materials. Later on, you oxidize them and get that heat or energy back out, and has a great potential to be very long duration, very cost effective, very scalable types of storage. So work on those. We've done a tremendous amount of work in hydrogen, everything from how do you manufacture it, how do you compress it, how do you store it, how do you burn it in engines, how do you utilize it in fuel cells. So a wide variety, and just real lot of exciting technology. And there's a real push in geothermal right now, and we see a lot of opportunities. So I think there's plenty of technical solutions out there. Some of them are challenged cost-wise right now, but I think we have a lot of tools in our tool belt on how we could really tackle climate change. I think it's more of a political will question right now than a technology question.
Yeah, I totally understand what you said, and it's like crazy how everything is going to impact in the future also for everybody. And do you think, with your experience in mechanical engineering and clean energy, which are the emerging technologies or trends that will have the most significant impact on the future of sustainable energy solutions?
It's always hard to tell, right? Sometimes things that look like they don't get a lot of traction, certain events, there may be a step change in production costs. There may be different things that affect it, and there's a bunch of examples in the past. And I do believe there's not going to be one silver bullet, right? I think a lot of us believe what's right for container ship is not necessarily the ideal for a passenger car. So there's going to be a real wide variety of solutions. I do think geothermal has a lot of potential. People are starting to look at that a lot right now. There's a lot of opportunity there. I think you're going to see wind and solar build out. I think you're going to see, that's a well-established trend, but I think it's going to keep continuing. I think you'll see storage technologies, possibly some other battery chemistries. I think you'll see that continue on. But I do think it's going to be a portfolio approach. It'll be a little bit of everything, and I'm sure if I look back in this 10 years, there's something we didn't even plan on, right? There's a lot of discussion on small modular nuclear reactors, which I think certainly has a lot of potentials. It still has some challenges, but a lot of activity there, and that may be one of the strong candidates in a few years. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think that in the last years, and the technology is evolving,
Yeah,
has been evolving during all this year, and it's going to continue like that. And
yeah,
there's going to appear new things, new challenges, new problems, new everything. So I think
yeah.
I agree with what you said. And what do you will be your advice for the new entrepreneurs that are starting their own journey, like you start 18 or more years ago?
Yeah, fasten your seatbelt. Yeah, it's I think I think just the value of putting together a mission driven versus sort of a profit driven. Not that profits are bad, and I do believe that things have to be economically viable, but I think start with the mission first, build the team around it. You're not in it alone. There's a lot of people that have made these journeys, and there's a lot of people that are willing to help you. So look towards resources. Most major towns have some form of incubator. There's depending on the space you're in, there's a lot of accelerators out there. We work closely with a bunch of different accelerators like Activate, RMI's Third Derivative, Grantham Foundation, a few others, and they are just doing fantastic jobs at helping people really to no benefit of their own, but really just trying to affect change. So yeah, don't try to do it alone, and really reach out to the network and people and stick to your core values and you can do it.
Yeah, as you said, build a good team so you can
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
not relax, but at the end you can be like sure that you are going to have a group of people that is going to work, and not just working good, but they are also good people, you know?
Yeah, and not only build that team, enable them, right? There's certainly, as a leader of a company, you have to lead and manage those people, but there's a lot of different styles, right? And we're seeing some of the leadership styles coming front and center recently that, I'm not necessarily a big fan of, right? Um, I think there's a lot of ways you can lead people in a very positive, constructive manner, and I would encourage any entrepreneur to go down that route versus some other methods out there.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with you about that. And I want to thank you, Guy, for being here and share all your journey with us. It was really cool to hear what you think. How was this whole journey, the challenges, the advice that you have for everybody. So I want to ask you if you have any social media or website you would like to share.
Yeah, so certainly I would encourage people to visit our website if they want to learn a little bit more about C0. So that's just www.c0-solutions.com. There we do have some activity on LinkedIn, so I encourage to look there. But then more importantly, it's just a lot of websites with a lot more information than we have if you want to learn about these topics. And I would encourage people to check the sources and make sure they're looking at real good science, and not just pages that are purporting to be science and really aren't.
Okay, perfect. And for everybody that is watching, be sure to visit our website, buildernation.io, and subscribe here to our channel. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn by following Builder Nation for the latest updates and exclusive content. Thank you all for being part of this amazing community. We will see you in the next episode. And a special thanks again to Guy for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.